Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I will be showing you a quick tutorial on how to sew my backless romper pattern. I made an active romper pattern in my previous video, and sewing this backless romper will be similar to that. This backless romper has a few differences, which include thicker straps, shorter sleeves, and obviously a more open back that is squared. All this adds a different look to the piece. For the main fabric, we need an elastic knit fabric with a 4-way stretch. I'm using a layered knit fabric with about a 50% stretch to it. Fabric with only 2-way stretch won't work with this pattern. Your fabric should have a 4-way stretch. I recommend a fabric that has somewhere between a 50% to 70% stretch. A 50% stretch will give you more of a compressed, tighter fit, while a 70% stretch will feel more relaxed, like a second skin feel. So that you have an easier time following this pattern, I'm going to be using this see-through knit fabrics for the lining so that you can identify the fabrics. I highly recommend using your main fabric for your lining fabric as well. The stretchiness of your lining fabric should be the same as your main fabric. Also, I wasn't originally planning to add lace tape, but I just finished the romper and decided to add this lace tape to the leg holes. If you add lace tape to the leg holes, make sure the lace tape is elastic. If you don't have any lace tape, you can also just fold in and zigzag stitch the leg hole openings. And here's my pattern that I'm using. You can download and pin this pattern at home. I will leave the link in the video description. Instructions on how to pin this pattern at home and cut your fabric are included in the pattern instructions. Make sure to cut the notched mark on the pattern, as they will come in handy later when we are sewing. There are 5 pieces to this pattern: a front piece, a lower back piece, a crotch piece, and 2 back shoulder pieces. You will have these pieces for the lining as well. To start off, overlock stitch the shoulder back pieces on. If you don't have an overlock machine, you can use your zigzag function on your sewing machine. With the right sides of the main fabric and the lining fabric facing each other, overlock stitch the armholes and the neckline here. Next, I'm going to flip the garment right side out. Here I'm stitching fully across the waistline of the lower back piece to connect the lower back piece to the shoulder back pieces. Make sure that the right sides of the lower back pieces are facing each other and that the straps are sandwiched in between them. And let's take a look at the stitching. Now we are going to organize the pieces so that we can stitch the sides of the romper together. I'm going to align the bodice sides together starting from the end of the armhole. Layer the fabric on top of each other in the following order so that we sandwich the back pieces between the front pieces. At the bottom, we have the front piece lining with the right side facing up. Next is the lining back piece with the wrong side facing up. Following that is the main fabric back piece with the right side up. And at the top, we have the main fabric front piece with the wrong side facing up. Once we have the pieces in the correct order, I'm going to overlock stitch the sides of the bodice together. After stitching, flip your romper right side out. Overlock stitch the cross piece between the front and the back bodice pieces. Do this for both the lining fabric and the main fabric. And I forgot to frame a small step here, but before I finish the leg holes, I'm going to piece stitch the main fabric and the lining together so that they are easier to work with. For the last step, I am finishing the leg holes. I made a last minute decision here to add elastic lace tape to the leg holes for a finishing touch. If you don't have elastic lace tape, you can just hem the seams by folding in and zigzag stitch the seam. With the wrong size of the main fabric and the lining fabric facing each other, stitch the leg holes using a straight stitch. Use the longest length threading on your sewing machine. This is a piece stitch so that it will be easier to add elastic lace tape to the leg hole later. Fold the light size of the fabric over and lock the seams of the leg holes. Now I'm going to zigzag stitch the lace tape onto the leg holes. Add a little tensions on the lace tape when sewing it on so that the opening is tighter. And finally, I will trim the excess seam on the leg holes. After, I'm going to remove the piece stitch I made earlier to leave only the zigzag stitch for cleaner and prettier seam. And this backless romper is finished! Thanks for watching this quick tutorial and hope you guys enjoy your new romper. Leave any questions you have in the comments, I will make sure to respond. If you like sewing content like this, please like and subscribe. It helps out the video and channel so much. Bye bye!